You should make more mistakes. Wait, what? Yes, you heard me correctly. Today we're going to talk about a therapy technique called error augmentation and how making controlled errors in your recovery can actually help you make more progress. Let's get into it. What is error augmentation? Error augmentation is a therapy technique that is used to promote neuroplasticity and encourage motor learning, both of which help to spur on stroke recovery. It involves deliberately creating controlled errors during therapy exercises or therapy activities in order to stimulate the brain's ability to adapt. So by introducing challenges and obstacles, the technique forces your brain to make adjustments and learn new ways to overcome these challenges. For example, imagine trying to toss a ball back and forth with someone. Now, initially, it may seem simple to think about, but of course, if you experience one-sided weakness or balance issues after a stroke, that's already going to be challenging. However, adding in controlled errors like using cuff weights around your wrist, standing on a balance pad, or having someone engage you in a cognitive challenge at the same time, like counting backwards from 100, this makes the task even more challenging, increases errors happening, and requires the brain to make adjustments to complete the task successfully. These controlled errors force your brain to work harder and encourage the brain to find new ways to complete the task. Precautions. Before trying error augmentation at home, there are certain precautions that you need to consider for safety, as this technique is primarily used by trained therapists and their clients. And it's not to say that you can't use it at home, you just need to take precautions. So start with exercises that you're already familiar with, and then gradually incorporate error augmentation. Don't do too much too soon, and always have someone else with you for safety. Begin with just minor adjustments and then progress as you feel more comfortable and confident in your abilities. Pay attention to any discomfort or any pain that you have during therapy exercises or activities and modify it or stop it entirely. And if you are still in therapy, ask your therapist to ensure that you're using proper technique, provide supervision and safety tips. You can even ask them to incorporate error augmentation into your formal therapy sessions. Examples. Error augmentation can be a little bit tricky to wrap your mind around if you've never heard of it before. So I want to give you two different examples of how you might incorporate error augmentation techniques into your home therapy program. So to start off with, let's say that maybe you have some grip strength weakness and you're having trouble grasping and releasing. So starting with a grasp and release exercise is a great place to start. Fill a cup about halfway with water. Practice picking it up and then setting it down without spilling it. Then introduce more controlled errors by filling the cup more, adding a cuff weight to your wrist for more weight, or even attaching an object to the handle of a mug. You can also put on loud music as a distraction, creating a challenge for your hand and arm control, as well as cognitive challenges. You want to focus on maintaining a steady grip and precise movement while you're adapting to these different errors you're trying to induce. You want to see if you're making mistakes. Then remove whatever caused the error after a few tries and see if the task is easier. For safety, always have someone with you while you practice and don't use weights that are too heavy. Now, the second example I have is a reaching exercise. You want to utilize a target, like maybe putting a hoop or a marked spot on the wall to give you a cue about where you should be reaching. You want to introduce controlled errors by maybe adjusting the target's position, making it slightly more difficult to reach, either higher, lower, or side to side. Again, you can add extra weight to your arm using a cuff weight, or you can even have someone use a resistance band to counterweight in the opposite direction of your reach. You can also recite something that you have memorized at the same time that you're reaching. For example, if you're in the United States, recite the Pledge of Allegiance while you are working on that reaching exercise to make it more challenging and to increase the odds for making mistakes. Aim to reach the target accurately while adapting to the changing position and also these challenges to your coordination and precision. But remember, it's okay to make mistakes. While you're doing it, you also want to try to avoid compensatory movements like shoulder hiking with reaching. And for safety, avoid putting that target too far out of your reach so that you prevent falls. Error augmentation can be a great tool in your home recovery tool belt when used safely and with precautions. It helps to promote positive brain changes and can spur on your home recovery progress. And remember, if you're still in therapy, ask your therapist to use this technique with you in your therapy sessions and how you can use it safely at home. All right, everyone, that's it for today. Leave me a comment and let me know, is error augmentation a technique that you've seen used before, or maybe your therapist has used it in your recovery? And as always, I'm gonna be leaving a link down in the description if you'd like to sign up for the email list, which gets you free stroke recovery tips, as well as a free copy of my ebook, The Stroke Recovery Pocket Guide. And if you find value in what we do here at Post Stroke and you're able, please consider gifting us, either by clicking the button in the YouTube bar below, by giving us a one-time donation via PayPal, or by becoming a Patreon member, where in exchange for a monthly donation, you get access to cool perks like social media shoutouts, behind-the-scenes footage, and even YouTube shoutouts, of which I have one today. Thanks again so much, Heather G, for continuing to contribute at the Empower level. We can't do what we do without you. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.